guys, Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Actually, I'm going to turn my audio over here. Sounds terrible. I know you can hear me. My mic is not working for some reason. All I've got is my system mic. This thing, for some reason, doesn't want to work. I know my video looks better today. It's not as cut and dry as it once was. The question is, do I continue or do I come back another day? You tell me. Should I keep going, guys, or should I come back? Can you hear me all right, or should I come back another time? It's an echo, but it's okay. All right, well, I'll keep going. I won't make this a long show. I've got to apologize because the thumbnail that I showcase is not going to be here. I got a bunch of books back today. Yeah, and I have 3 boxes to share with you, and I have 3 more. Again, I'm not doing 6. Hey, guys, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC and PSA dealer located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And today's going to be, the video is going to look good. The sound's not going to be good. I was all proud of myself. I fixed the video, and the bloody microphone's not working. I have a feeling it's I'm going back and forth between Whatnot, OBS, and this. I'm going to see if I can fix my mic one more time. I can see what the problem. My mic is showing up, but it's not letting me transfer over to the new mic for some reason. I don't know why it's not letting me. No. Hello? No, it's not. So not much I can do about that right now. So anyways, let's get to the comics. Yeah, raise your. I'll put my volume up too. Let's see if this might help actually. If I put my volume up, I'll put my volume up. Does that help when I put my volume up like that? Is that better? Can you hear me a little bit better? No, I'm using my default on my computer system. I don't. This is not a laptop, which is really strange. I did not realize I had another mic, but I just put the volume up a little bit. Maybe that's better. Let me know. All right, here we go. First, we got some magazines. Mike, I think your magazine may have come in. We'll see. All right. First off, we have some gaming manuals. We have a Spyro the Dragon in a 9.0. We also have a Pokemon Stadium #1 in a 9.2. We also have Chrono Trigger Player's Guide in an 8.5. Hey, Bat Cave, how's it going? Hey, John Sherwood, how you doing? John Conley's in the house. Bad Hombre's in the house. Canada Canuck Comics is here. How's it going? We have a Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green official game guide in a 9.0. These are solid, man. These are solid slabs, I'll tell you. We're just getting here now, guys. 3 boxes to share. Tomb Raider, the official strategy guide in a 9.2. We have Sports Illustrated volume 69, number 8 from 1988 in a 9.2 featuring, that's Magic Johnson, yeah, and Wayne Gretzky. It's going to be, we're going to find out soon enough, guys. We have Hockey Today, no number, in a 5.0, and that's from what, 1979, early Wayne Gretzky cover. Another one in a 4.5. And I think these are yours, Bad Hombre. I think they are. I don't think you're going to be very happy if they are. We have Vampire Tales #2, 8.5. And then we have a Vampire Tales number 8. Are these yours? And this one's at an 8.0. Are those yours? I can't remember if these are the ones. If they are, I'm sure you're going to let me soon enough. Hey, John, the Bats Cave, how are you? Thanks for coming out. All right. Yeah, I was shocked. I came home and I had like almost 5 boxes delivered today. 5 boxes. Today I want to talk a little bit about CGC's new policy. Although with the sound being so crappy, I might not bother. I might just do this and get out of here because I'm going to see how bad is this. I'm going to turn my volume on. I'm going to turn. Actually, it's not that bad. It just doesn't sound as good as it used to be. Were those yours, Bad Hombre? There's no Marvel preview here. Not that I can see. Oh, but the Marvel preview is probably a modern. That's why. These were vintage. So that one's probably coming later. We also have... Oh, sorry. The Marvel preview is here. Marvel preview number 7. I'm not going to show it to you yet. What grade did you think it was going to be, Bad Hombre? Your Marvel Preview 7? I'll hold off and I'll show it to you when I see what you thought. Hey, Jim, how's it going? We've got a Super Mario RPG in a 9.4. Hey, Colin, how's it going? Colin, I got your email. I will. We'll talk, man. We'll talk. It's kind of why I want to go out and grab a bite. We have, yeah, the Marvel preview is a modern. That's why it wasn't together. We have a Pokemon Crystal 8.5. We have a Pokemon Fire Red, another one. Man, heavy as hell. 9.2. And Bad Hombre's Marvel preview number 7. We did not get the 9.4 on that either. We got a 9.2. Nice looking book. Very pretty book. So sorry we didn't get you where you needed to be on those. Okay. We've got some comics. Those are the mags. Now we've got a bunch of comics to share. Guys, we're just getting here now. Box number 2 of 3 we're now doing. My sound is wonky today, so I do apologize. I don't know what's going on. Of course, it's when I go to do a stream that things tend to go in the shit. And that's exactly what happened today. Of course, I had my my 3,000 subscriber giveaway last week, and as soon as the giveaway happened, 14 people decided to unsubscribe. So now I'm back down to 2,991. So again, if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Get me up to 3,000 legitimately. I'd certainly appreciate it. Okay. We have a bunch of moderns here. We have a 9.8 copy of Spawn 220. Hi, Felix. How you doing? Hey, Trevor. How's it going? Good seeing you and the wifey on Saturday. We've got a Spawn 249 and a 9.8. We have another 9.8 in Batman, Absolute Batman number 1. We have an X-Men 92 number 1 with Psylocke, beautiful cover, and a 9.8. And we have an Uncanny X-Men 12, also in a 9.8. That's an awesome. Is that J. Scott Campbell? It is. That's a J. I had a copy of this. I just sold recently. signed by J. Scott. There's a different variant cover, though, and a 9.8. Very nice. I think Dave M. bought that one from me. We also have an Amazing Spider-Man 252 newsstand copy and an 8.5. And we have an Amazing Spider-Man 363 and a 9.2. It's a newsstand copy as well, as you can see. And we have some Quebec Heritage Editions. We have Amazing Spider-Man 136 and an 8.0. And then we have a 162 and a 9.0. And these books are usually beat to heck, man, I tell you. These are looking pretty good. We have an Amazing Spider-Man 301 and a 9.8. This is the French-Canadian edition. Very cool, very cool. And then we have another French-Canadian edition, and that one is in a 9.0. Listen, there's collectors for everything, isn't there not? You know? I remember meeting a guy at one of the shows years ago, and he was really into collecting marriage covers. Any kind of covers, as long as it had the theme of marriage in it. So that's what he was all about. So everybody, you know, everybody's into their own thing. Whether it be variant covers or certain grades, we're all hunting those special books, right? Sounds weird, but keeps going. Or keep on going. We have, again, the French-Canadian edition of Spider-Man 362. And then another one. That's a 9.4. We have a 9.2 as well. We got two of those. Both French-Canadian. And then we have, oh, they're all French-Canadian here. It looks like. Then we have a 9.4 copy of 361 with a really cool back Carnage image in the back there. A 9.4. Oh, it keeps going out of focus. This camera might be on its way out. Derek's in the house. Hey, Derek, how are you? Mike, how you doing, pal? Luke's in the house, too. How are you, Luke? Good to see you guys. And we have another copy as well, a 9.6. This camera, something's up with it, man. I don't know. I think I'm using it too much. Sam, you're right, it does. Sam is our resident 361 spokesperson. Spider-Man 201 with a Punisher in a 9.0. If I put it right by my face, it goes to perfect focus, I think. Let's see. Then we have Spider-Man and Batman Disordered Minds, no number. And that's in a 9.8. Let's see, right? Yes. If I put it right in the middle, it stays in focus. Which is kind of good. And then we have an amazing oh, sorry, no, we don't. We have a Marvel Tales, number 99, Death of the Green Goblin, in a 9.6. And then we have the 121 reprint in Marvel Tales 98 in a 9.4. Oh, we got a nice one coming up here. And we got a really nice copy. I like this. This one's cool. I love display. I would love, if I had a 9.8, displaying that with the 129, the orange. It's almost an identical copy, but with the orange instead of the yellow background. Really cool. Side by side with a 129. Look really sharp. 9.8 copy of Marvel Tales 106. Newsstand edition too. Amazing. In a 9.8. Very, very cool. Those pre-screens? No, those are just moderns. All right, so that's box number 2. All right, so I want to talk a bit about CGC's fanboy. 361 fanboy. That's right. Yeah. Hector says, going to see Ballerina. Yeah, I've heard good things. The new John Wick spinoff. I got to check it out as well. Didn't do very good at the box office this weekend, I heard. But it's actually kind of a fun film, apparently. So, yeah. Gotta check that out eventually. But let's talk a little bit about CGC's no shipping policy. And Mike, the Bad Hombre, knows about this because, and many of you might know about this too, especially if you're dealing with sending books to CGC yourself. They have a new policy in place. It basically states that they're only going to ship back orders to the address in which it was sent. So if I'm sending orders there, they're going to send them back to where they came from, and that's totally cool. And for me, that's a non-issue because that's exactly what I do anyways for my Canadian clients. Excuse me. For my Canadian clients, the books ship to CGC, and if you work with me before, you know this. When they come back to me here at my home office, and then I sort them, and then I either mail them, I ship them to you, or you come and pick them up at my shop. Now, believe it or not, it's cheaper to do that in most cases than to have them shipped directly back to my clients in British Columbia or Nova Scotia or Manitoba or wherever, Saskatchewan, Alberta, because what CGC does not do, which is pretty, I think, pretty irritating, is they will not combine tiers for people. So if you are submitting modern books with vintage fast track books with high value books, you're going to get 3 boxes back. They're not going to ship them all back together for you. They're not going to hold on to them and then ship them all. No. You're going to get 1 box and another box. To give you an example, Mike has these magazines here, right? Let me show you. This one, where'd it go? Yeah. So this is a good example. And Mike, you're here, so I'll use an example. So Mike has these 2 books. The Bad Hombre had these 2 books here. And this book here. Hey, they're all magazines. Let's put them together in 1 box and mail them back and save Bad Hombre, $50 or $80 on shipping. No. What CGC will do for you is they'll pack these 2 up because they're vintage, ship them to Mike, and then a week or 2 later, they'll ship him this one because it's a modern. That's what they do. Now, if you're a dealer like me, if you're a special dealer like me, they'll combine for us. That's one of the perks of being a dealer, I suppose. Anyways, for Canadians, no problem. They're all coming back to me anyways. It's more work for me. I got to sort through all these bloody things, as you see. But I got to, it takes me a few days to do that. Then I got to deal with people calling. Oh, can you mail them? Can you mail them? And where are my books coming? I'm dealing with that constantly. If I just had CGC ship them back to you, simple. Cost you double or triple, but then no headache for the comic doctor. But no rest for the weary, right, guys? Anyways, Canadians, you're all good. I'm talking about my American clients, and I have a lot of American clients now. What they want to do, and this happened to one of my clients in Texas this week. He had 2 2 high-value magazines that I paid CGC to ship them directly to him in Texas from their shop in Sarasota. What do? They ship them back to me in Canada. And the reasoning? Well, Mr. Comic Doctor, our policy has now changed. We're shipping back items directly where it came from. My response, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So you're going to send an American citizen's books back into Canada so I can sort it, repack it, ship it back over the border, potentially causing the customer to deal with customs clearance fees and all that bullshit when you could have just sent it back to them. And the real clincher here is, the real thing that ticks me off is that I actually paid for the FedEx that CGC has. Like, I have my own FedEx account. I paid for their FedEx to ship the book to my client in Texas. But no. They shipped it to me here in Oshawa. I caught it before they left Sarasota. I phoned them. They did not help me. For those of you who think I've got special treatment over there, you need to get your head examined, because I don't. You should. You think, but you don't. I call them up. I don't have and I didn't call up my customers, my personalized customer service rep that all dealers. No. I just called client care like everybody else does. And I talked to 3 different people, and telling me we're going to hold off on the shipment. No, they didn't hold off on the shipment. The shipment hadn't left the building yet. Of course, nothing got done, and by the next day it had shipped already. So now the book's here. I've got them here. And what's aggravating about this is that it's stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. One of the excuses they gave was the tariffs. I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. The tariffs have not impacted anything I've done so far. Anyways, knock on wood. There's been no tariff, nothing. Since all this brouhaha has been going on over the last 5 months, I have dealt with no issues at the border whatsoever. I send the books down to Sarasota without issue. I get the books back through my broker without issue. What's the friggin' problem here? But one of the reasonings that CGC's customer service rep gave me was the tariff stuff, the unknown, the looming tariffs, the boogeyman, the Baba Yaga. Right? You know what I'm saying? Give me a break, dudes. Anyway, so I went back and forth with them, and their final result is, no, we're not going to change the policy. That's going to be the way it's going to be. Well, that's not the way it's going to be. So I sent a pretty lengthy letter to the vice president of operations. Let's see what he says. Hopefully, they will use common sense and amend their policy, because it's ridiculous. It's just makes no sense. Why do you want to put these books in harm's way? And as far as I'm concerned, when I send books to CGC, they're in harm's way, right? As well as I pack them, as much as I pray, they're in harm's way. When the books are coming back from CGC, they're also in harm's way. They're in the Wild West. As soon as those books leave either my facility or their facility, and FedEx has their hands on them, who knows? So what irritates me the most about this whole thing, well, two things irritate me. They expect my American clients to pay shipping twice. That's totally stupid. They also want to put the books in harm's way twice. So the books are going to come over the border, and I got to repack and ship them back out. So now they're going back into the Wild West a third time, an unnecessary, needless, potentially disastrous third time. So that's my problem. Had enough of it. We'll see what they say. I would like to say more, because I'm really quite angry about it. And to be quite honest, I wasn't very happy with the response I got. I'm not going to tell you all how much business I give CGC every month. It's a lot. For an operation of my size, it's a lot. I don't think I'm the biggest client they have. In fact, I know I'm not the biggest client they have. But hey, man, it's quite a few books. For the size of my operation, I'm sending quite a few books. And for them to just say, oh, well, we're not going to consider you. So I'm your partner. I'm your partner in this racket, and you're not going to be opening your ears to my concerns or to the challenges you are now presenting to my operation. I have a real problem with that. So, guys, we'll see how it goes. This could be the end of CGC with me. I'm at my wit's end with it, to be quite honest. We'll see what happens. Maybe I will call it quits, because I think it's absolutely disgusting. They'll treat a client who's been with them for 10 plus years, who pays his bills on time every single month. And then when this little hiccup happens, they you know what? I'll even just say it. Why don't I have a personal client care person to talk to? Why do I got to send my complaints and my concerns to the same customer service rep every single other person does? I don't think every other single person does the amount of business that I do or that other dealers do. We should have our own special phone number to call when a problem like this arises. But no, they don't care. They put me through the stress of all this. It's been 5 days of stressing how I'm going to deal with this. One client, American client's books have come back. Now, luckily, there's only 2 books. It's not going to be super expensive to send them back. But I have another client's books waiting to get graded over there. And I'm going to tell you, it's not 2 books. It's way more than 2 books. So that's going to be expensive. Who's going to pay for that? Now, if CGC says they're going to pay for my shipping, okay, fine. If they're going to give me a major discount or something like that, that's fine. So I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to get too irate or angry about this, although I'm quite heated about it. I'll wait and see what they say. I'm just upset because the conversations I've had with their customer service rep, I thought was very dismissive, you know? So anyhow, not very happy with CGC at the moment. CGC grading departments don't talk to each other very much. I don't know if they do or not. Hector, and by the way, Hector's one of my American clients right there. I have a book of his right now that has to get sent back for Signature Series. I have to get that book back there. And what do I do? What do I do? Right? The only way I can circumvent this is if all my American clients set up their own CGC accounts. And that's totally doable, you know, but you know, maybe some people don't want to do that, you know. It's easier for me if they do, because if they handle all the dealings with CGC, less dealings with CGC, honestly, guys, the better it is for me. But we'll see. We'll see how he responds, and we'll go from there. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm sure I'll be back on next week. I may do another unboxing this week because I have a lot of boxes to go through. Hopefully PSA will be... Well, I'll tell you, I spoke to PSA, and as you all... I don't know if you know this or not, guys. If you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, I am now a PSA authorized dealer as well, too. I can take comic books, magazines, trading cards, all that, and I'm going to give them a shot. When I spoke with them, they were very open to listening to my needs as shipping my comics to them. I told them straight up, I need to ship my books directly to you. I'm not shipping my books to some other PSA place in Canada to be waiting there for God knows how long. It's going to go straight to California and straight back to me or back to my American clients, and they were okay with that. So we'll see how that goes. You know, I'll tell you, these guys don't want to make things. Oh, CGC doesn't want to make things very easy for me. PSA seems like they want to work with me, and that's cool. That's cool, and that's all I want, right? I know that CGC is the hit industry standard for comic grading. Is there any? Well, PSA is now on the docket. We'll see how they do. Listen, I'm going to go where I'm going to go the path of least resistance. I've been with CGC, and I've told them this for over 10 years, almost 12, 13 years now. And even through all their ups and downs and all the hiccups they've had on their side, you all know this. I might complain here and there, but I still tout their services, and I still support their business. But I don't feel very supported right now myself. So that's my issue. But again, you know, I was talking to a customer service person. I wasn't talking to one of the higher ups, and we'll see what they say. If I get the same kind of response from them, then it's going to be something to really think about. But in regards to what you said, is there anybody else? So PSA is new on the scene. You've got Beckett, so I really don't want to go with. You've got PGX, which, to be honest, I was considering bringing PGX to Canada. I was in talks with Daniel. He's a very nice guy. The reason I like the idea of doing PGX or my own grading company out here is because I'm in charge. I'm in charge. And I know that I do good work, and I know that I'm honest, and I know that I would provide a good service. And I think CGC started that way, but it's a big giant conglomerate monster. When that happens, you know, now, would I always stay that way, or would I become a conglomerate monster myself, right? We all know the story of George Lucas and Star Wars, right? Him being an independent filmmaker, then Lucasfilm becoming this massive studio itself. It kind of, you become the monster yourself. I would not like that to happen. Anyways, I don't know. So you could send them using your own CGC account, and it won't go back to Canada. Well, no, right now, the way they want, 100%. They want them to come back to me. The way I've done it for the last probably 4 years or so is I have been using CGC. CGC has their own shipping, and their own shipping is not badly priced for Americans. It's not good for Canadians, but it's good for Americans. So what I decided to do, because it made things easier, and I had a hard time pricing out my shipping using my account. So what I ended up doing is I just started using their own in-house shipping, and it seemed to work quite well. And I've been doing that for a long time, and now this came out of the blue. So basically, Hector, if I send out your Signature Series books or any of your books to CGC now, what's going to happen is they're going to ship it back to me, and then I'm going to ship it back to you. So you're getting charged to ship to CGC, you're getting charged to ship back to me, and then I'm going to charge to ship it back to you. So it's redundant. It's stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What the tariffs have to do with this? I don't understand. There's no connection whatsoever. Now, the Canadian stuff, I get it. There's a lot of unknowns and uncertainty. So when it comes to the Canadian side of things, I totally get it. I'm on board with it. In fact, again, like I said, it doesn't make no difference to me because I'm doing that anyways. But I get it. But for these American ones, what's the deal? The books are in the States now. They cleared customs. They're there. Why are you sending them back into harm's way? Send them back to the owners and let's be done with it. What's the friggin' problem here? The only thing I can think of is they're trying to simplify things at CGC. Maybe they're trying to simplify their workload. Maybe they're trying to streamline their shipping. No one's told me that. Maybe they need to. They use the tariffs as an excuse. The tariffs make no sense. For somebody who's dealt with these tariffs, who's dealt with the shipping back and forth, I've dealt with no tariffs, but for someone who ships back and forth so frequently, they have had no bearing whatsoever. Again, I'll knock on wood. They've had no bearing whatsoever on my business. So I don't know what the hell they're so scared about. I heard KSA is entering the market. KSA is a Canadian one, right? Craig Smith says, please don't touch PGX. They scam me pretty badly unless you would in charge. Well, I would be 100% in charge of the Canadian side. That's the whole point. I would have been. We were talking quite a bit. We're not done talking. My biggest issue with doing this is, look, I know the work would get done, and it would get done right, and it would probably be pretty slow because, there's only so much a human being can do. It's just more, I'm 54 years old this year. Do I want that stress and headache? I'm stressed out enough as it is. Doing all this. That's why when these type of stupid hiccups happen, I get really upset and I start, questioning my place in this sphere. You know what I mean? I'm honest. I do things. I think honestly. I try to run things as smoothly as I possibly can. Meanwhile, I see people out there in this comic book world who I know are unscrupulous, who I know behave nefariously, and I see them getting ahead. I don't understand that. I don't get that. I see CGC shaking hands with some of these people, and I don't understand, like associating with them. So I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening? Again, I'm mentioning no names. I don't ever mention names on here, but I just see stuff. I see stuff, and I'm like, what's going on here? I see people that I know have had questionable situations, yet they align with them. A good example of that would be CGC'S. When CGC'S was doing their, and you Canadians will know what I'm talking about. You guys live in the GTA. When CGC'S opened up their Oakville or the Mississauga drop-off center, remember that? And they told everybody they were going to be grading books up in Oakville or whatever, and they never did. It was all baloney. When they did that, it was great. But then I found out who they were doing business with. There was another company they had joined up with to help with the shipping part of it. And when I did my research on that, they had lawsuits against them. They were accused of all kinds of fraud charges. I'm thinking, why on earth would you associate with this company? But they did. And I couldn't understand that. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you're going to align yourself with another business, with another company, why would you not do your due diligence and find out, if there's skeletons in their closet? Evidently they didn't, or if they did, they didn't give a shit. That's all I know. I'll tell you one thing about PSA. They put me through the ringer. It's not easy to become a PSA dealer. Anybody out there who has a PSA dealer, if you behave a certain way, you're out. They don't want you. And they did a very thorough check on me, and they don't want just anybody. So, I take that very seriously, and I appreciate that. With CGC, they also vetted me too, but it was nowhere near what PSA put me through. And again, I don't blame them. I would who's this guy from Oshawa, this comic doctor dude? What's his story all about? I don't blame him. Luckily, I had a couple of references that vouched for me, and that really helped. People that know the people at PSA, and that really helped me out. But you know what I mean? I don't understand it. It's very frustrating. Hey, Doc, do you think you'll ever collect any magazines? If so, which kind? If I were to collect magazines, it would be, again, I'm not a big sporto, right? But I would go and find those key sports issues or those key historical issues like Time Life magazines, or the first, the first Macintosh magazine, magazines that are the first of their kind type things, But at this point in the game, Hector, I don't think I'm going to start collecting more magazines. I'm probably going to keep refining my own comic collection. And I'm probably going to get back into the toys a little bit, to be quite frank. I've been talking about that for a long time. And to be really quite honest with you, lately, I've been really enjoying tinkering. This is going to sound weird. Guys, as this company grew, I was tinkering a lot, obviously, fixing everybody's books. And it was a lot of fun. As it grew, and I had to bring on Nipur and Charlo to help me, my role has shifted. I'm still tinkering a little bit, but I'm more now. I'm doing more like reviewing and doing paperwork and accounting and this type of stuff online with you guys, which I love doing. By the way, it's one of the highlights actually. But it's changed, and I miss using these. You know what I mean? And just last few weeks, I've had to rebuild I rebuilt the carburetor on my lawnmower, and then I rebuilt the carburetor on my riding lawnmower, and man, I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm missing that sort of thing. So I think, honestly, what my time is going to be spent doing as I near my retirement as a teacher, and potentially my retirement here too. I don't know. Yeah, I'm on the fence, guys. I'm getting old, and I want to enjoy myself. I want to start tinkering again with just building stuff. I look around my house and I want to renovate and do things like that. While I still can, because you all know things can change very quickly at this age. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure where the future holds. But when I run into roadblocks like this with CGC, it kind of puts the onus on me, or puts the fire into my butt to kind of rethink how I'm doing things. I don't like relying on other people. I don't like relying on other companies, and unfortunately, in this business, you have to rely on these grading companies. I really don't like it. I don't. Hector, I went to management years ago and missed interacting with clients. I interact with clients all the time. I'm the main go-to person. But I missed the actual hands-on stuff that I was doing. I'm working on those old Superman books I showed off last week. I'm having a lot of fun with those. I'm still working on all the high-end books, and I get my hands dirty on doing reviews. I still review every single book, even though to Nipur and Charlo's dismay, I still review every single book. I go through every single one and drive them crazy. But that's kind of part of the deal, right? Haggard says, Lego is always fun to build. It is. I've never really been, if I got Lego sitting in front of me, I'll build it. My son used to be into it. I used to sit there beside him and kind of play with him and do that. But again, not my bag. My biggest problem with Lego is once you're done, then what? I see guys who've got Lego everywhere. I don't want to have rooms filled with Lego. I think my man cave and my collection I want to have to reflect my past, to reflect my childhood and the things I loved growing up, and perhaps the things I did not have when I was growing up but want. But again, driving around in my old Camaro, which is in the shop right now, getting the rear suspension fixed up on it, I really like just zipping around in that thing and detailing it and working on it. And I wish I had a lift in my garage where I could actually rip things apart and fix. I know that I just had the engine done recently, but the rear main seal still frigging leaking. I want to do it myself. I'll tear it all apart and put it back together myself. I know I can, but again, time, right, guys? Anyways, that was a long response. Anyways, that's what's happening with CGC, guys. Feel my frustration. I'm sure you do. I do apologize for rambling on about it, but that's kind of what's going on right now. And yes, PSA is, I can now start submitting books to PSA. Doesn't mean you're going to get the books back anytime soon. They're not launching officially until, I'm not going to tell you when. Soon. That's all I'm going to say. It's soon. And I can send books there now. Their pricing is still up in the air. I think we're going to know. I have an introductory price for the soft launch. I talked about that already a few weeks ago. Those spots are already taken. There's none left. That's it. I think Hector was one of the last ones to get in. And that's going to be, and Hector, I'm going to be honest, it's tight. I didn't realize how tight it was. And I have to press all those magazines. We're going to do our very best to get those books out on time. But once that soft launch is done, they're gonna launch their actual pricing scheme, or the schedule, I should say, and then you can start submitting books at PSA and trying them out as well too, guys. And I will be in San Diego this year, and I will be at their booth. maybe I'll do some interviews with them while I'm there. Have some fun that way. Okay. Hey, guess what? I have another box to share. Let's get going. What else do I have here? Okay. I have a Wolverine #1 in a 6.5. Oh, I think this belongs. These are Chris's books, I think. That's a newsstand variant, or newsstand edition, I should say. Still very angry my microphone's not working. I have an Iron Man 128 newsstand. This is a Mark Jewelers, actually, which is kind of cool. The low grade, but it's a Mark Jewelers insert, so a pretty rare comic for that. We have the Amazing Spider-Man 194, and that is in a 7.0, also a newsstand edition. If you're just getting here now, guys, if you're new here, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor, if you haven't guessed. I complain about CGC and other things. We talk about comics here mostly. I don't complain that much. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, that'd be fantastic. I'm trying to get up to 3,000 subscribers. I'm very, very close. I think I'm at like 29.91 or 29.92. What am I at here? Let's see. 29.91. There's 39 of you. If all 39 of you are subscribers, that's fantastic. If just 8 of you or 9 of you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would get me to my 3,000, and I would certainly appreciate it. I was there last week, but then it went down again. We also have, now this is one that was sent in by Chris as well, and it had some really bad defects in the back that another presser couldn't get out, but we got it out. Anyway, we came back in a 9.2. I think it had some ripples in it that the other presser couldn't get out, but we can get it out. We can usually get those problems out. We also have a 9.2 copy of X-Men 131. If you guys like your whatnot this Saturday, Charlo at the Comic Loft is having another whatnot sale. I'm probably not going to do one for a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Spider-Man 323 in a 9.8 white pager. It's pretty cool. All right, we got a 9.8 copy of Wolverine 17. Pretty copy, Jim Lee cover. Oh, John Byrne cover, is it? John Byrne cover, right, Jim Lee. Come on, Kev. And then a 9.8 copy. This is the Jim Lee one here, I believe. 9.8, very cool. Oh, look at that. 398. Oh, a whole bunch of 9.8s. And a 9.8, $2.99. Very nice. We have a 9.8, 324. Right there. And we have a Showcase 34 and a 2.5. Is my video better than it was last week? If you were here last week, I was all choppy. I think I'm better today, I think. And then I have a Hawkman number 34, sorry, Brave and the Bold 34, origin of first appearance of Silver Age Hawkman and Hawkgirl in a 1.8. Seems pretty smooth on my end. Then we got a 4.5 copy, classic Neil Adams Superman cover, 233, and 4.5. A 2.0 copy of Justice League 21, a reintro JSA in the JLA. In the JLA title, there you go. Very cool. Infinity Gauntlet number 1 in a 9.8. Still looks kind of jittery. I'm looking at my video. It looks kind of jittery over there still. It's not terrible. There's a setting in Chrome that's causing the problem. It's not terrible. We'll see. We got a Hulk 340 newsstand copy in 8.5. Yeah, Todd McFarlane's first work, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, cover and art. No, not first work. It's Todd McFarlane cover and art in a 9-0 All-Star Squadron. Speaking of Todd McFarlane, we got ASM 300 in a 8.0. That's a newsstand copy. And a 9.2 copy of 343. Ah, right there. Cool. Will they take mag? Oh, PSA is taking mags and comics. Michael Lowe says, I have signed mocks by Richard Garfield. What is the best way to authenticate it? I want you to press and clean it first. Now, I don't know what PSA is doing for that. I know they're going to authenticate signatures. I'm not sure if they have a service in place as of yet. If you want to go with CGC, of course, Michael, you can send to their JSA program. It's $40 to authenticate a signature. They will also charge you the $40 if it's not authentic, just to be warned. But yeah, so you got. Well, right now it's pretty much CGC. I think that what do you call it? CBCS also does it, but I do not send it to them. Trevor, no Fan Expo. Nope, not this year. No, I'm not doing Fan Expo. I'm not doing Montreal. I don't want to go on another rant. It was a lot of work last year. I had a lot of fun doing it, but it kills you, man. Those shows kill you. You know, being away from home and then being on your feet all day and talking all day, it's a lot of work. And again, I'm a one-man operation. I'm not bringing my team with me. They're working here. No offense, but my wife has no interest in coming, and my daughter has no interest in coming. My son might come, but you know he probably wants to walk around and buy video games and not sit with dad and help out. So I'm on the fence about doing these shows, and I really do need someone with me because you know I'm dealing with a lot of comics. I can't have my eye on them at all times, especially if we're doing signature series as well. So that becomes a bit of a problem. And again, I don't want to complain anymore about CGC. I've done enough about that today, but there's a little bit of that as well. A little bit of resentment about the lack of. Again, I mentioned them being business partners, but you don't feel like they are when they don't represent you. You know, you buy all their shirts, you buy all their signage, you put it all up. And do they mention you once on their website that you're going to be here or you're going to be there, even if you are a signature series rep? Like I know Carlo at Gotham does signature series. I've never, ever, ever, ever seen them before I ever was a signature series. I've never seen them once mention Gotham on their website to say go to Gotham for this or event or go see Gotham at this show. Never, right? And so it's up to Carlo to advertise. And same with me. If I want to go to Fan Expo, I got to pay the penny to advertise. They don't even make a mention of it. And that's aggravating to me. So, but meanwhile, they will advertise certain people. So that again, it's very nepotistic, it seems. It's very selective. It's very, what's what I'm looking for? Cliquey. That's a good word. Cliquey. That's a good word. That kind of bothers me. And so, yeah. I like if you want me to be a rep for you, or you want me to do something for you, you know, do something for me. I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back. You know what I mean? I have no problem doing that, but you don't get that from that company, and so why should I kill myself for 6 days, and they're not even going to put a posting on their website or send out an email saying, hey, you're going to be at Fan Expo. These are the 6 different guys you can go to. I'm not saying I want all for myself, but these are our trusted reps that you can go to. Seek them out, give them your business. No. They don't bother doing that at all. They don't make a mention whatsoever. They'll pick one or two people and they'll focus on that. And that is aggravating to me. And so why should I go to these shows and kill myself for that? Yeah. So I might go back to it again. We'll see. But again, I'm just a little bit, and what's happened the last few days, this whole other incident, it's really just a bad taste in my mouth. I'll keep doing it, but I'm not doing it very happily right now. So anyways, that kind of was the I guess the straw that broke the camel's back. And so yeah, I decided we'll be on vacation this year when Fan Expo's going on. I won't even be around. So no, I could go Sunday, but if I go Sunday, it'll be me and my son going just to hang around. How did the last whatnot? It went okay. It was not bad. It was all right. It wasn't the best I've ever done, but it wasn't the worst either. It was fun. But you know what? If things aren't moving, I'm not going to sit on there for 4 hours shooting the shit. It's Friday night. I'm exhausted. I have a long week. I'll go on there. If people are in the mood to buy what I've got, I'll keep going. If I'll give it 2 hours, and then if it looks pretty slow, I'm getting the hell out of there. But it's a good whatnot is a great place to buy stuff, guys. And it's a great place to sell. So I'll keep going, but I'm not going to do it very frequently. And to be quite honest, I got to find stuff to sell on there. That's the issue, right? You get rid of your good stuff first, then you got to go hunting for more. Okay, Haggard, thank you about that. Thank you, Comic Guy. The video is good. All right, that's good to hear. The audio is crappy. Yeah, I told you straight up, the audio is shit today. But more... Sean, yes, video is better, but more max headroom wouldn't have been bad. So last week the sound was good, the video is shit. This week the video is good and the sound is shit. What's going to happen next week? We'll find out. Was McFarlane's first work on Badger? I used to love Badger. I had no idea. Yeah, I knew you. Okay, that's cool. I used to love Badger when I was a kid. And the poor man's Wolverine, right? Batcave, you're 100% right. Those shows are killer, man. They're killer. I remember waking up Saturday morning last year at Expo. We set up on Tuesday. Went back and did more work on Wednesday. Show open Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning. It was a busy day. My wife was coming. Napur was coming to do all the signature witnessing. And I remember sitting on my couch before we left to go to Fan Expo, and I just didn't want to leave my house. I was so tired. My feet were killing me. I had no voice left, and I had another day left to go. And I was thank God for my wife that day, because she's a trooper, man. She got those signatures last year. She pushed her way around there like she owned the place. And you have to when you're doing that show, you have to push your weight around. And she has no problem doing that, man. Pushing her way through lines and stuff with the help of Napur, with the help of oh my God. My God, his name's escaping me. God, he saved my life last year. I feel bad. Anyways, they really helped me out last year big time. Chris McCann says, Fan Expo announced a bunch of big titters like Jim Lee today. Wow, it's going to be a good show. Yeah, that's going to be good. I know he's there and a bunch of other big ones there. Other people can get those signatures. I will not. I thought about sending some. I could send somebody to get the signatures, but that's going to be a zoo, man. That's what Luke says. So Luke said, would it be possible to have someone else facilitate? Yeah, you can. I can set up to. I can certainly do that, but then I need somebody who's responsible to become a witness. So say you wanted to do it, for example, you'd have to apply to CGC to be a witness. You'd use me as your reference, and then I would get the books ready. And then when Fan Expo happens, you take the books to Fan Expo, and it's your responsibility to get all the signatures, have all the money ready, like I do for you guys when I go, and I get the reporter to do all that. It's a lot of work and a lot of organizing. And then say you get the Fan Expo and Jim Lee's lines around the corner, and you got 30 books you need to get signed. How do you deal with that? How do you make that happen? Yeah, I'm not going to miss it. Whatever. I get what you're saying. I thought about it. Maybe I will do that, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to lay low. I'm just going to lay low. Will you be in Montreal? Yeah, no, Ancient Duel. I'm not going this year. I think Montreal was my favorite show last year. I had a lot of fun in Montreal. I met a lot of my clients I'd never met before. To finally meet them in person was a real treat. And that was the best part of going to Montreal Comic Con. I really liked that show. It wasn't as big as Fan Expo. I was on the fence, but honestly, all the guys that I usually set up with, like Roy, can't go, and Alan, was beside me last year, and he got me the table last year. He's not able to go this year either. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I can't go by myself anyways. So I decided not to do Montreal either. So I'm just going to lay low this year. Maybe next year I'll get. Next year, there's a chance I might be retired. If that's the case, maybe I'll do them, but we'll see. No problem, Luke. No problem. I got some more books. I'm not done yet. I got a few more here. We got a 9/8 copy of Punisher War Journal right there. Beautiful. We have a 3.5 copy of Fantastic 448, first appearance of Galactus, the Silver Surfer. And then we have Fantastic Four number 50. These are all books that come in together, usually a 5.5. And then, of course, if I've got 48 and I've got 50, yeah, you're right. I probably have one more that you're probably guessing I have, and I do have it, number 49 right here. The 40 with a chunk missing. That's pretty, I guess. 3540. Anyways, there you go. Guys, we are having a show. If you want a show, how about a free show? You want to come to a free show? If you're in the GTA, mark July 1st, Canada Day on your calendar. Only if the sun is shining. If it's raining, it ain't gonna happen. But if the sun is shining, so are we. I've invited a number of GTA's best dealers to come to the Comic Doctor parking lot and set up for a free sale and swap meet. If you are somebody, you don't have to be a dealer, by the way. If you're somebody who would like to sell some books and you've got a good number of books and you've got a portable table and you can get to Oshawa, you're more than welcome to set up. Of course, I have limited space. I've already got about 7 or 8 guys lined up, but if you have books you would like to move or try selling, come on by my swap meet. Let me know. Send me a text or an email. We can chat. And if you've got enough stuff and you want to set up, you're more than welcome to do that. Again, it's July 1st. It's a Tuesday. Yeah, it'll happen July 1st, Tuesday, Canada Day. It's a day off. We'll do it it's going to be like morning, like 10 a.m. until like, 1. I don't want to spend the whole day there, but it's going to be like a half a day. And I'll give you more details later. Charlie will be open upstairs at Comic Loft. You'll have sales. I'll be open in the Comic Doctor's office. I'll also have sales going on. That'll be the next time I'll have a discounted comic book pressing sale. Will be on Canada Day. After that, I probably won't have one again until the fall. Things are starting to get a little busier, guys. So if you are thinking of submitting comic books, trading cards, magazines to the Comic Doctor, now's a good time to do it. The turnaround times aren't too horrendous, especially for us to do the work on your book. So I'd recommend getting those into us sooner rather than later. So July 1st, Canada Day special. And that's it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the notification bell. There's a good chance I'll come back again, maybe Friday night, like an early show. I might do an early show Friday and showcase the rest of the books that I have to share. At least 2 more boxes. These books you just saw today, I will have them hopefully sorted. I'm going to try to have them sorted tomorrow. I'm doing another shipping day this week as well too. So if you have books that are that you're expected to be shipped out this Thursday or tomorrow even, I might start doing the shipping process. Remember, I do a shipping day usually every 2 weeks. I did one last week. It was a small one. So I'll do the bigger one this week. If you want to come and see me on Saturday, 11 until 2, you can do so. Make an appointment at thecomicdoctor.com. Go to contact, and there's a little blue button there. Click on that. You can make an appointment to come on in to pick up books or to do a free pre-screening. And that's pretty much it, I guess. JSA is 40. Yes, it is $40 Canadian per signature for now. Yes, it's starting to really pick up, actually. I finalized my PSA pricing. If you want to know what that is, head on over you can go to www.tradingcarddoctor.com or comicdoctor.com. And I have a new trading card tab. You can click on that, and I've got the pricing all laid out there for the most common PSA grading tiers. You can check that out. PSA's turnaround times are on their website. They are horrendous, just to warn you now, but they've always been horrendous over at PSA. They know it. Everyone knows it. It's kind of a given, and that's kind of the way it's going to have to be. But I am getting a lot of card subs now, and I'm getting a ton of magazine subs. And a lot of guys are really keen to get their sports magazines graded over at PSA as well. So definitely let us know if we can help you in any way. We'd love to do that. Cody, damn Skippy, man. It's always good to have another option. You know, it's always nice to have a different option. It keeps everybody honest. You know, okay, do I want to be the only presser? Hey, I'd have everybody's business if I were. But you know what? You don't want that. No one wants that. It's good to have competition. Competition keeps people going, keeps the blood boiling, gets us going, kind of stimulates ideas and gets people moving, right? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, I agree with you. It's good to have competition in everything. And so I'm glad PSA is entering the market. I hope they take a bit of the market share, and you know, and maybe CGC will look at themselves and say, you know, I really think CGC's, as a dealer with them, again, I don't want to get back into a giant tirade, but having now worked with them for 12 years, I can see just two things as a dealer have always just kind of irked me. And again, I'll say it. Two very basic things. One, why is a dealer who submits over, I think I did I did about $125,000 with CGC last year. Okay. Again, I'm not the biggest dealer they have. I know I'm not. But for someone who submits that much product, why in God's name do I not have someone I can call when I have an issue? That's one issue I have. I've heard they were talking about it. Nothing ever materialized. That's number one. Number two, my accountant needs my statements, right? They need my statements from CGC. I get my Visa statements, but they can't reconcile my Visa statements with the statements from CGC. Why do I have to contact CGC to get my statements? Why are statements? And they used to send my statements to me every single time they would bill my card. I'd get a statement. Now I haven't seen a statement. I haven't seen a statement in over a year. Unless I contact them and say, give me a statement. And the statements are never the same. They're always different types. Like things like that are just, to me, common sense. And now they want to ship books from America, from American clients back to Canada so I can ship them back to America, to the United States again. Is it the bizarro world, guys? I don't know what's going on. PSA is doing like 1.4 million. Listen, they are the main card company, guys. And that's probably why their turnaround times are so heavy. You know, God bless them. Good luck to them. Godspeed to them. I hope they do well. I hope CGC, you know, fixes up their issues and does a better job as well too. We can all do a better job. That's for sure. When you rest in your laurels and you think that what you're doing is perfect and then no other changes can be made, that's an issue you have. And they certainly need to. You know, I sent out a pretty. It wasn't a mean letter at all. It was a very straightforward email. Let's see how they respond. Hopefully they respond quickly, and hopefully they respond with a common sense response. That's all. If they can explain to me why these books have to be shipped back to me before they get and then shipped back out, if they can explain to me a logical reason as to why, then I'll fine. I'm not unreasonable, but I can't understand what the reasoning on this is other than passing the buck, and that doesn't work for me. Sorry. CBCS is biting the dust now. Yeah, you know what? CBCS has been they've had their chance. They've had their chance. And I've talked about them before, and I don't want to get into what my problem with them was. But boy, oh boy. And I've told all these companies. I've told CBCS. I've told CGC. I've told PSA. I even told PGX. I said, if you really want to get a foothold in Canada, start grading your books in Canada. Start grading your books right here. And the response from all of them, well, not from PGX, but from the other ones, we cannot maintain the consistency of our grading standards if we have more than one grading location. And I'm not unreasonable. I understand that. I hear that, and it does make sense to me. But at the same time, the same token, train people, man. Let's go. What are you doing? I know the market share is small in Canada. California is a bigger market than we are. So I can understand why they wouldn't want to bother dealing with it. But if they can, they're very resistant to doing that here. But if CBCS had started grading in Canada, had a real operation here where they teamed with the right person and started grading here, they would have. I think they could have easily gotten the lion's share of the Canadian market, which might not have been enough for them to feel it was even worth it. But I think it would have certainly helped them a lot. But nope. But I do agree. I think this is really going to kick CBCS's ass. But what else can they do? I don't know. Good luck. I don't want to see any company go bankrupt. I want to see every company make common sense decisions and do things that are good for their business partners and for their clients, right? And like I said in the past, CGC has usually been pretty darn good when they've screwed something up. They usually stand behind it, and I like that usually. But lately, even emails aren't getting answered, or it's taking a long time to answer emails. That's a problem. My statement is not being sent to me automatically. That is a problem. What, are they the only busy people? No, I'm freaking running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I don't need to stop and email some miscellaneous customer service person and ask for my statement. Just send me the bloody statement every freaking month. Is that hard to understand? PSA does. Well, they say they do. I don't know. Anyways, guys, listen, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks so much for being here. Considering I had such a terrible sound today, I will fix that for our next session. Please do hit subscribe, guys, if you haven't done so already. I show off comics every single week. If you like looking at comic book art and comic book covers, this is the place for you, for sure. We also talk about every facet of collecting comic books and other stuff too. So again, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell again. I'm going to be going live soon again this week, I think. I was saying that to Steve B in the beginning to come to Canada. Yeah, I've told Steve that as well too. But they don't want to. They don't want to. And that's why I thought, you know what? Look, again, I don't want to go off on a tangent here. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. If anything else, I run an honest operation. And that's why I've been doing this for so long. I'm not going to rip anybody off. I'm doing the best we can do. And, I try to run an honest operation. It took me forever to find the people that are working with me at the shop. Big part of it was trust. You trust people. They have keys to my shop. I trust them implicitly. They're not going to do anything nefarious or crazy. They're both two of the most honest people you're going to find. And that's one of the hardest things to do in any business, especially when you're dealing with the public and dealing with public trust, is to have people represent your company that is trustworthy. But that's why I thought for a millisecond, maybe I would be a good person to start a company like that up here. But the costs involved to operate that, to get that going, it's not cheap. And I don't know if I'm confident enough to jump in that, that on that train, that grading train. And then if I did that, the pressing would be done. I'd have absolutely zero time for pressing. And I'm not disinterested in it. I'm talking to other people about stuff like that. I don't think it would be a big chunk of the market, and that's what worries me, right? But I do believe that a lot of people don't care. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong on this. I don't think people. How am I going to phrase this? I think the whole grading thing is important for two main reasons: aesthetics. So people can display their books. They look good. They're protected, and they look nice inside of a slab. That's number one. And number two, there's a number on that slab that kind of gives you an idea as to what the value of that book could be. So if that book is a 4.5, you know what, you can look up what a 4.5 is, and you can then have the book, insured for that, or sell it for that, whatever. And I hear from a lot of people, oh, I'm getting them graded so because if I kick the bucket, my wife or my kids could sell the books easier. I hear that a lot, and I appreciate that. Does it have to be CGC? Really? Like what do the graders at CGC have, or the knowledge? What do the graders at CGC have that I don't have, and that a lot of you don't have? I've seen the graders at CGC. Some of them are 18, 19, 20 years old. Nothing wrong with that. But I've been doing this since I was 15 years old. And a lot of you are kind of my age and have been handling comics for as long as I have. So I'm going to say, what do they have that we don't have? And what that is that name and that label and the history. And that's fine. But I think that some people would be satisfied with having their books properly graded, having a number put on it by a company that is run by a bunch of nerds and real comic book collectors and comic book enthusiasts. And they can display it, label looks nice, it's safe, it's there, and it can be insured for that. That's the main thing, But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I went to lunch. But now, the other side is those guys that do want to sell. For those guys who want to flip their books fast, who want to send their books to Heritage, who want to send their books to Comic Link or to whatever auction, or put them on eBay or sell them, at shows. Yes, of course, you want to have that CGC label because it's like it's the standard, it's the gold standard. I get it. I'm not stupid, but for a guy like me, I'm not planning on selling my comics. Not now, anyways. Who knows if CGC will even be around when it's time to sell my comics? Maybe my comics will be worth nothing when it's time to sell my comics. Do you know what I mean? For those guys who are planning on keeping their books, they just want to have a nice holder and collect their books and put them on display, or have a number to tell the insurance company. That's what more do you need, right? So that's what I'm thinking. But anyways, what do you guys think? If you did grading, I grade at least 100 books a year. I stopped because of a lot of reasons, but I can't afford the shipping and the custom fees anymore. Craig, I get you. See, and that's what I mean, right? You're a guy who 100 bucks, no problem. And I would try to keep the price as low as possible, right? I felt like you 20 years ago. Yeah. I don't know how old you are, Caves, but I'm at the point where it's like, do I want to go down that road? Do I want to hop on that train? Like, I want to wind down. Do I want to wind back up? If I could partner with somebody, maybe I would, but I don't know at this point, because my operation is good. The way I run these things in the shop is good. Everything's fine. I could be a little busier, to be honest. I mean, when I say busier, I could take a few more submissions. Things have shifted the last year and a half. But aside from that, I think the grading would be a nice addition. But there's a lot of expense involved in getting that up and running, and a lot of things I don't know if I want to get into. Agreed. I think grading in Canada would increase drastically due to the cost. Yeah, I think some guys who are just collectors, they don't give a shit if it says CGC or PSA or anything. I think a lot of guys would be happy just to have them slabbed. That's it. Now, a lot of guys, they buy these slabs you can get, and you can put. I want to properly seal them and I want to copy what CGC's doing, 100%. I want to make the inner well better. The inner well sucks. I've always said that. But I want to seal it proper so it can't be tampered with, that sort of thing. But aside from that, I think it would work. But again, I'd have to partner with somebody. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a second win and want to do it. I doubt it, but you never know. Three Luke's. The quality of the slab and presentation. That's it, right? Like even you, Luke. Like no offense, you don't get your books pressed very often when you get them graded. And oftentimes, to be quite frank, the press is going to help the book. You've got a lot of 9.6s, 9.4s. You could have got those 9.8s, but you're more. You don't. I'm not saying you don't care about the value. You are a true collector. You just want that damn thing signed and slabbed and protected, and you're done. You know what I mean? you're not fussing too much about the grade. You're more just want to protect it. You know what I mean? You're kind of the guy I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's not everybody's in it just for the buck, you know? And I know it's hard to say, hard to believe, because comics have become a commodity, right? In the last 25, 30 years. Since CGC, especially since the advent of CGC, where by putting a grade on something, you've now definitely put a monetary value on it. You know, they're commodities. And so it's taken the fun out of it a little bit, you know? And because it's a commodity, we all want to protect them. We want to know exactly what our commodities are worth, because I might say your book's a 6.0. You might think your book's an 8.0. The other guy might think your book's a 7.0 or a 4.0. You know, you need that stamp of approval saying this is what it is. And you want people that have been working on comics for many, many years to give you that feedback. Anyways, again, this is a conversation we can go on and on and on about. I find it fascinating. You never know. Hey, if you've got ideas about Canadian grading companies, let me know in the comment section below. And what do you think? Should there be a grading company in Canada? Should PSA, CGC, CBCS, should they open up a branch in Canada? Does it make sense? Is it fiscally irresponsible for them to do so because the market in Canada is just too small? Or what the hell? Should they do it anyway, just to make life easier for us Canadian collectors and to to ease up on the hassles of cross-border shipping? You know, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. And then we'll finish up with Luke's last comment. For Blue Label stuff, I will most likely get a press. For SIG series, it's all about the SIG. The grade is secondary, if that. Well, there you go. There you go. And then Craig says, here, hey, I hate PGX, but I'd get a PGX grading if you did it. Interesting. Interesting. You're not the first person to tell me that. And Daniel over at PGX, I've had some really interesting conversations, and we're going to have more conversations, I'm sure, in the coming months. You never know; it could happen. But boy, oh boy, I need a real second wind, I tell you. Luke, have a great night, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your week. It's only Tuesday. We still got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to go. So have a great rest of your week. I'll see you back here again very, very soon. Again, hit the notification bell. I'm probably going to come back here for at least a quick little unboxing later in the week. And that's it. Have a great night, guys. And please hit that. Let's see. Did anybody hit that subscribe button? Let's see. Let's see if anybody did. Let's see if anybody, out of you 40 people that are here, did anybody hit it? Not one. Thanks a lot. I'm still at $29.91. Oh well, maybe in the in the people watching on the replay will give you the likes or the subscribers. Guys, have a great night. Bye for now. Take care.